All right, good morning, everyone. We're going to call this meeting of the TRPA Legal Committee to order. It is Wednesday, July 23rd. It is 8:31 a.m. First item on the agenda is roll call to determine quorum. Catherine, could you please call the roll?
Ms. Aldine? Here. Ms. Loomer? Mr. Keycapper? Ms. Faustina? Here. And Ms. Williamson?
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. We'll do quick housekeeping rules. Remote committee members, please raise your hand to speak and mute your microphone. If you are viewing a webinar on your computer, please ensure that your microphone and speakers are turned off so we don't get that audio feedback. And for any members of the public who are joining us in the room, please come forward at public comment time, which brings us to our first item on the agenda, which is the public comment period for any items on the agenda. Any member of the public wishing to address the committee on an agenda item may do so at this time. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person. This comment period is reserved for items on the agenda. Comments on other matters may be redirected to the public interest comment period before adjournment of the meeting. If any members of the public wish to address the committee on Zoom, please raise your hand by clicking the raise hand button on Zoom or dialing *9 on your phone. Doesn't look like anyone is public in the room. Catherine, do we have anyone online wishing to make comment?
Madam Chair, we have one hand raised. I believe this is the representative for the violation, but Kara Hayes, you're unmuted if you'd like to make a public comment at this time.
I just wanted to clarify whether or not this was when you wanted me to comment. I can wait.
Thank you so much. We will certainly have time for you a little bit later on the agenda, unless you had a different public comment.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Let's move on then to approval of the agenda. Staff, are there any changes?
Sorry about that. It's Graham St. Michelle. Good morning. There are no changes to the agenda.
I'm sorry.
No changes.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to note too, good morning, Ms. Loomer has joined us for our committee. Thank you. Okay, let's move on then to approval of minutes. We have a draft set of minutes from the June 25th meeting on page 9 of your packet. Any members of the committee wish to make any changes?
Madam Chair, it was kudos, Catherine. They were wonderful. And with that, Madam Chair, I move to approve the minutes from the Legal Committee meeting of June 25th, 2025. I'm having flashbacks.
That's awesome. Thank you. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. This does bring us to agenda item 4, which is the discussion and possible recommendation for approval of resolution of enforcement action. This is for unauthorized tree removal, Steve and Lisa Gonzalez, 491 Alpine Drive, Incline Village, Nevada, assessor parcel number 131-22306, which is also TRPA file number code 2025-0018. Information can be found on page 61 of our packet. If I could please turn it over to Steve Sweet to present this item, and then we'll go to committee member questions and comments.
Thank you, Steve Sweet, Compliance Program Manager. Again, this resolution of enforcement action with Steve and Lisa Gonzalez, consent calendar item 1, page 61 of your packet. The violation involves unauthorized tree removal of 2 large trees. The violation occurred on a more recent purchased property owned by Steve and Lisa Gonzalez, which is located at 491 Alpine View Drive in Incline Village. And it is directly below the current Gonzalez residence, which is located right above at 497 Sky Lake, Incline Village. Can you go to the next slide? So here's an overview of where the Gonzalez residence and new property are in relation to the lake and Incline Village, up there on the hillside. And the next photo, and you can see here the 2 properties owned by the Gonzalez's, the upper one, the residence on Sky Lake, and then the lower one where you see the 2 circles where the trees were removed on his property below. A short description of the violation. In November 2024, TRPA inspected a complaint regarding unauthorized tree removal that had taken place at the Gonzales Alpine View property. After that investigation, TRPA staff determined that 2 large trees, both over 24 inches in diameter, had been removed without any TRPA or fire department authorization for what TRP believes was for view enhancement from the uphill residence to Lake Tahoe. Here are 2 of the pictures of the trees removed. And this unauthorized work, go ahead and go to the next slide. This unauthorized work occurred in violation of TRPA Code Section 61.1.5, which prohibits the removal of trees greater than 14 inches without TRPA approval. Mr. Gonzalez has taken full responsibility for the unauthorized activities and has agreed to a settlement where they will pay a penalty of $20,000 to TRPA and plant 4 native 15 to 20 foot native conifers to replace the trees that were removed. And we have in the next slide, we have the locations that we've agreed to of the tree planting on the Alpine View property. And you can see that the 2 X's are that I numbered the 4 trees because we were changing some placement of the trees. Best placement on the property and to replace them in a kind of in a same location. Go ahead and go, so staff is recommending that that the governing board approve the proposed settlement agreement. Sorry.
Thank you. I know we had, I think, Kara online as a representative. If you wanted to speak now.
Carrie, you can unmute.
Yes, my only comment is there was no determination that the Gonzaleses removed these trees for view enhancement purposes. We've disputed that, and that this was done for fire mitigation purposes. I don't believe that's relevant to the settlement. My clients have agreed to this settlement, but I did not want the record to reflect that there was a determination or an admission that this was done for view enhancement purposes. We've been very clear that we denied that allegation. And so that was my only comment. I did not want the record to read as if, as part of the settlement, the Gonzaleses were conceding that they did this for view enhancement purposes. That is not correct. But otherwise, the settlement as presented is accurate, and we would also ask that the board approve it.
Thank you. Any committee members have any questions or comments?
Just a quick question for Mr. Sweet.
Yes.
So regarding the issue of taking action, that the record not reflect that it was in violation of any kind of view enhancement. I don't see that in the staff report or anywhere else, so
No,
it doesn't seem.
No, I just mentioned it in my presentation that staff believes that it was for view enhancement, not that we agreed that.
Shelley?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Couple of things, Steve. Paragraph 3 on page 64, where it says, for the avoidance of doubt, TRPA is alleging, why are we alleging when they have admitted to removing the trees? It's not an allegation. I mean, it's an allegation, but it's also a fact. So I'm kind of questioning the wording. I mean, it's not essential that it be amended, but I'm just kind of curious why it's an allegation and not a statement of fact, since he's admitted to it.
That was a request from their counsel.
Oh,
and
okay.
so I would
Okay.
maybe let Jack or Graham answer that if you wanted to say anything.
Well, it was just part of the negotiated settlement, so
Mhm.
that's fine. That's fine. The question I have, I guess, is, are there any specific care requirements? Now, I know these trees are between 15 and 20 feet in height, so they're mature trees, but they need to be watered until they're established. There's nothing in the agreement that would mandate that. Obviously, if they die for lack of water, then they're going to have to be replaced. But I think in the past, haven't we required that, there be a maintenance provision to ensure that they survive?
We don't usually require like a watering program or a maintenance, but we do require the survival of the tree
Yeah.
or it's replanted.
Okay, so you don't want to be more specific than that. Okay. And then in paragraph 4, so do Mr. and Mrs. Gonzalez, the property obviously is in Nevada with respect to jurisdiction of the United States District Court. We have an option of either bringing it forward if there's a violation in California or in Nevada. Is that because they're California residents? Is that where their primary residence is? I don't remember seeing that provision in the past. That's why I'm asking.
It's a new provision we've added into our settlements, and I'll let Jack.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, that's just kind of a boilerplate term that we add into our settlement agreements. The Eastern District of California and the U.S. District Court for the District of Nevada are, the two district courts where that cover the Tahoe Basin and where jurisdiction would be proper in any dispute that arises under any settlement agreement. So we use that term, or are going to use that term, going forward in our settlement agreements, regardless of, whichever state the potential dispute arises in. So,
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm just thinking that district court, U.S. District Court is in Reno, so it would be more convenient for the agency to have the jurisdiction limited to Nevada, but.
Yeah, and again, where venue is proper will depend on a lot of different factors on a case by case basis. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
the question of who gets to choose, I guess is my question. It's not specific about who gets to establish which court has jurisdiction. For purposes of.
A lot of that is just kind of, depends on the law where venue is proper. There's a whole like legal determination. So again, these are just this is just sort of a boilerplate term that we use across the board, and which venue ultimately a dispute is or a lawsuit is filed in will depend on particular circumstances. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the committee? Okay, seeing none, I will entertain a motion if someone wants to make one. The motion I'm looking for is to recommend approval of the settlement agreement as shown in attachment A. Attachment A. Sorry, 3? Oh, 3 or A? What are we attaching? 3 or A? A, thank you. Thank you. Any further discussion on that motion from the committee? Seeing none, Catherine, can you please call the roll?
Ms. Loomer,
Yes.
Ms. Aldine,
Yes.
Ms. Bastinos,
Yes.
Mr. Keycapper, Ms. Williamson.
Yes,
Madam Chair, the motion passes.
thank you. Let's move on then to our next agenda item, which is potential closed session with council. Do we need potential closed session?
We do not
Thank
need
you.
closed session.
All right, and that also lets us skip the next agenda item, which is direction regarding closed session. So we are now on to agenda item 7, which is committee member comments. Any committee members have any comments this morning? Good deal. That moves us to our final public interest comment period. This is our final matter of business, our general public interest comment period. Any member of the public wishing to address the legal committee on any item listed or not listed on the agenda may do so at this time. The legal committee can only deliberate or act on items listed on the posted agenda. Public comment will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Comments must relate to matters within the jurisdiction of the agency. Are there any members of the public wishing to make comment not in person? Catherine, is there anyone online wishing to address the legal committee at this time?
Madam Chair, there are no hands raised online to comment.
All right, you guys, short and sweet this morning. I'm looking for a motion to adjourn. We're adjourned.